I'm Manish Banker. I represent Tao Studio as a firm where we all integrate architecture, interiors and landscape. Principally, we try to see that architecture plays a device to connect man with the nature. Clients are well-reputed industrialists and they're well-traveled. And the requirement was to put a 4-bedroom house spread across 2 acres of land on outskirts of Jodhpur. The idea was to set up a kind of vernacular example built in a contemporary fashion in the design solution. The site is situated on outskirts of Jodhpur, having 2 acres of land, which is a part of a large parcel of land where the plots are divided of 1 acre each. Has a road on the east side and on the south side, where the north is having an adjoining plot but overlooking into a distance mountain. Even on the west side we had a very interesting view where we could see the sun setting on the west side along with the mountains. The site already had some of the fruit orchard existing in the east side and some little trees there, and we thought of having long and large trees situated on the all periphery, and we thought that if we put a building on the southwest side, having an entrance on the east northeast side would help us to create an interesting driveway leading to the house, and with some servant quarters at the southeast corner to generate a service entry from the back side. After we could master this layout plan, we came up with an idea to have a absolute rectangle plinth having a 2 small courtyard which would give life to the house by protecting the external periphery from the extreme climate, the conditions and the harsh sun of Jodhpur. And this kind of a solution gave us an option to put main living spaces surrounded around the courtyard. We also added service rooms like toilets, storeroom and even the verandas on the periphery in order to see that we create a buffer areas so that all the primary living spaces are well protected from the direct sun. As a principle of a passive cooling system, we thought of adding stack ventilation towers, which came up as veranda for the ground floor, but somehow could extract the hot air generating out of the building. So we had put some stack ventilation towers, and to support the cool air intake for the house, we also introduced the cooling towers on top of the main structures to see that the cooling tower supplies cool air in each of the rooms and generates a sort of a cross ventilation, wherein the cooling tower plays the role of picking up the ambient air, making them cool through mist and allowing air to drop into the rooms. And as you see, the plan is quite simple geometrical organization of the spaces, and that gets set only on a ground floor. So if you have land here, this is the ground floor plan, but we in the center supported by the 2 courtyards, we added a 1 room as a meditation room with the pyramid on top. But the elevation started getting more interesting when we created an elements by putting a stack ventilation tower on the periphery and cooling towers in the middle to generate a interesting combination of various elements coming together, and each element started getting divided by some jali pattern with some of the arches to create large opening, and somehow formulated a architecture in a very simple geometric pattern. Here you see the architecture is predominantly formed out of passive cooling system, wherein the passive cooling system is built in, not added on. So that you can see on the form that you have a stack ventilation tower seen like a bastions on the fort, which is basically helping the main building to remain cool by extracting the hot air, wherein the cooling towers in the middle are supplying the cool air into the main living spaces. So the overall form which builds out of stones, where we use local Jodhpur sandstone, formulating various massing, including the jalis, which segregates those masses and creates a kind of a compositions made out of various cuboids built, while the punctures are made through arches as large openings. And if you see that the architecture hides all the glass surfaces in order to protect the heat entering into the building itself. Here the interiors are simply a manifestation of architecture, where all the materials you see inside are predominantly again the same stone what we use outside. So the same walls of architecture enters in, and the courtyard becomes a primary element to lead all the interior spaces. All the elements which you see inside are collected within the 200 kilometers of range from the site, which are primarily crafty elements purchased like furniture, furnishings, light fixtures, various things all around within the Rajasthan. It was quite exciting to design this building with such crafty elements derived out of Jodhpur and Rajasthan in general. But there was quite a big challenge to execute this work. Our office being placed in Pune, where the site located in Jodhpur, had a long distance to cover. More than that, there were no professionals available to actually understand the technical drawings and transfer them on the site. But we realized that there was super skill set available among the people who had with lots of common sense and wisdom, which gets somehow carried by them through the generations. And we realized that if we can give them a three-dimensional drawing, that would help them better. And we were amazed to see the way they could execute the work on basis of our three-dimensional SketchUp model with all the dimensions written in three dimension, helped them to execute the work. And we were happy to see the way the results came out, which even sometimes becomes difficult for us to execute this kind of work in Pune. Somehow, they could cover up very well by having their super wisdom, existing all around Rajasthan.